go over to the United States. Of course, you would have seen these riots going on in LA right now. All of this sparked by, of course, Donald Trump doing what Donald Trump said Donald Trump would do, which is to deport illegal migrants from the United States. And, of course, there has been a sweep through LA. They've rounded up a bunch of illegal migrants, many of them criminals, and deported them overseas. They're now being held in El Salvadorian prisons for at least a year, and then they'll work out what to do with them again after that. But the violent scenes that you have seen, and you can see some of it on the screen here, people rioting, setting self-driving cars on fire. Of course, Donald Trump's now sent out the National Guard. People are having rubber bullets fired at them, and we'll come back to that in a moment, because I'm sure you've seen the footage tonight of Nine journalist Lauren Tomasi being hit with a rubber bullet. But, I mean, this is exactly what we were told would happen. And I don't mean we were told that there would be civil unrest, but we were told that Donald Trump would clean up the streets and get rid of illegal migrants. And for some reason, the idea of enforcing the law, that's all he's doing, enforcing the law, now causes the left in the United States to absolutely go off its nut. I mean, it's not like we're talking about people who have been citizens of the United States being ripped away from their families and sent overseas. That deserves riots in the street. We're talking about illegal migrants, many of them criminals, and that is how leftists in the United States respond.
Well, this is exposing just how bad Biden's border crisis really was. And I think Democrats trying to sweep it under the rug and say, oh, no, it's not really that bad. These are just some law-abiding, peaceful people who just want to come to America and make a better life. Well, inherent in being an illegal migrant is you're not law-abiding. But anyway, Gavin Newsom actually wrote to Trump asking him to rescind the deployment of the National Guard, saying California has this under control. But then just moments later, the LA police chief said officers were overwhelmed. And then you have other Democrats like Tim Walz, who accused ICE of being the new Gestapo. You had the mayor of Boston, who said ICE are basically neo-Nazis. It is, I mean, on the one hand, they can't actually grapple with the fact that they have let their cities get this bad. Now, finally, someone's coming in to clean up the mess. But then they are also actively putting in danger these law enforcement officials by creating hysteria and comparing them to Nazis.
Well, you mentioned Tim Walz. I remember his wife saying that during the Black Lives Matter protests, she opened the windows of her home so she could smell the fumes of the fires set by the rioters. I mean, the Democrats want this kind of thing. And Trump's had to send in the National Guard because the mayor of Los Angeles, she has blatantly encouraged this. She said when Trump sent ICE into California to remove illegals, she said, we will not allow this to happen. And then she made comments to the effect that her office was liaising with community groups about the protests, which was sort of a subtle message that you have permission to do whatever you want to do. Nothing is going to be done. So she's actively encouraging it. Gavin Newsom, well, he doesn't know what to do, and we all know that's the case because, and we're not surprised by it, because remember the fires? I mean, they had a natural disaster. He didn't know what to do about that. Now they've got rioting. He doesn't know what to do about that either, and there's only one way to deal with rioting, and that is to come down hard and fast, because if you don't, it spreads. And so Trump has got to come in and deal with this now. One little thing, it's a minor thing, but it annoys me how Donald Trump fires off tweets where he refers to Gavin Newsom as Gavin Newscum. I just wish Trump, he's got the law on his side, he's got a mandate that he won at the election. I just don't know why he has to resort to rubbish like that, which just demeans him and the office, and he cedes the high moral ground over and over when he doesn't need to.
He does that all the time.
I just wish he would.
He's always
doesn't
gone
need to do it.
He doesn't need to, but he's always gone for the jugular. So look, I think of all the things going on at the moment, that's probably on the minor.
But we saw the images on our TV, right? You don't need to go for the jugular.
No, you don't.
Gavin Newsom is condemned by the images he's allowing us to see in his city. But this is not by silly tweets from Trump.
But the fact that this is just the response to law and order being enforced. I mean, would these people prefer? Maybe they would prefer to live in an anarchist world. I mean, they want the world without borders and all that sort of stuff.
Well, any resistance to Trump is justified in their mind, so that's what they want.
One thing, though, and I'm sure you've seen the footage tonight, is Lauren Tomasi from Channel 9 being hit by a rubber bullet. Now, I don't know how many times you've seen this footage. I've watched it over a few times tonight. Keep your eye on the left-hand side of the screen with one of the coppers with his gun with the rubber bullet in it. He seems to turn around and fire directly at Lauren for no particular reason. Take a look.
Rubber bullets with protesters moving them on through the heart of LA. You just shut the
I mean, the only thing I can think of is that there was a car turning into that lane, so he's sending a warning, but then wouldn't you just shout, get the hell out of the way? You know, look, amongst lots of stuff that's going on there at the moment, I get that this is reasonably minor. Lauren Tomasi was all right. She made her cross at 6 o'clock. She said she was fine, but there was no call for that.
Well, it's always going to be chaos in that kind of a situation. What I don't like is anti-Trump people using that as evidence that Trump is going too hard on the protesters, when I actually read somewhere that the person who fired the shot was an LAPD officer, not even under Trump's control. So, look, we'll see. It's always chaotic in these sorts of situations.